There I am. Okay. Hey, good morning to those of you that have already come on. I see a few of you aren't. We're probably going to try to start coming on right at 9 when we do our official launch here. A couple things that have changed for those of you early. I have changed the layout. I found that I was having trouble reading the news, and I was having trouble on this chart. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up here. Oh no, I didn't get it yet. Hang on a second here. Oh no, I won't. I don't have that yet to give to you guys. I was going to show you the new buy sell, but I did want to point out to you that the free ones, if you aren't, there'll be a new buy, a buyer scalping indicator coming to you in the email, which I know they're going to be working on over the holiday weekend to get out to you before the 7th. And you'll get a link to a indicator nobody else has unless you're on the email list. Now remember, on every video there is the emails on every video. You know how to get to me. Professor's Day Trading for Success at gmail.com. For some reason, I have a really hard time remembering my own email on this channel. I look at the channel as something that's not me, but you know, whatever. So that'll be cool. I thought I was going to show it to you this morning, but I don't really have it up to do that with you. I don't have it in my files yet to bring over here. So just see, we're going to be looking at, I'm just going to start, for those of you here early, we're going to go ahead and look at the scanner that we normally look at here to see what's what. Yeah, so once again, Nvidia. So there is news out this morning. Let's just see. That's yesterday's sales there. Let's just see if we can get this. I'm going to detach this over here. Actually, I kind of want to put it up here on this screen. And update it over here. Yeah, it doesn't have mark on it still for some reason, so let me... All right, guys, I'm working off screen a minute here. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, there's Mark. Okay. Maybe that was up there and I missed it. So this way, I changed this a bit so we can see how it's moved since yesterday, right in front of our face here for the morning. And once again, Nvidia looks like the one we're going to want to look at for at least the opening candle. To get that, it's easy to read, you know, to watch it bump up and then ride it back down, and then we have to reassess. What I've been doing is we've been, if you've been watching along, I have been waiting then after that first candle, waiting for the first 5 minute to close, and then we start to look for the consolidation, a safer way to trade. Now I get my people are making tons more money while I'm waiting to do that for everybody else, because there's lots of opportunities, and they're also trading with much larger share size. So there's tons of opportunities, and yes, I do realize that, but that's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to consistently show you guys how to make $100 a day safely every day. So let's get this a little bit over here. I changed this so it was just easier to do it on the custom grid. And then I had more lines of news that I could easily click on and open up. So let's go over to Nvidia and see if I'm going to get rid of all this data and market new real quick for the morning. We still have a ways to go here for those of you that are with me. Just have your coffee, relax. Let's get this set up. It's on the way up. So this would be, just generally looking, it would be good. Let me just see. I think I would keep that level. I'd keep that spike. This one is one that I might not keep. Well, I don't know. It doesn't. We're probably not going to get to any. None of these are even going to matter. Let's look at this fib to make sure it is properly set for the 10-day, and it is. So that is definitely the low on a 5-minute 10-day. So I would keep that, and then this is probably the only level that's going to come into play. So when it gets near the high, obviously this is, if we're still on this stock when that happens, then that is a level that should be respected. This level, I'm not so sure about. I actually don't even think I'm going to keep that level. So let's get rid of that one. And this one would actually be more. I'd be more inclined to keep one of these. So you've got a high on the pre-market here. Does that translate to any historical data? Nothing really. That would have to be like a smoothing, like I'm trying to get. Remember, when I mark these, that one's definitely going away. These are just guidelines. So you're trying to get as many taps for a reason, because for as many as you can across horizontally, because for some reason that price action stopped abruptly, consolidated, or turned around. And we don't need to know why. We just need to make a note of where it happened. And then, you guys hopefully can see the value of this as you trade along, that the people that think it's nonsense are people that just have never tried it. And they don't do it. Now, I guess what I was trying to say in the beginning was a lot of people were asking why I'm not trading larger share size, why I'm not doing different things that, and the reason why is because I know that a lot of viewers here aren't, they're not ready for that. So I'm doing just fine. I'm fine financially, but thank you for, I think it's more like they want it. It's more like part of an entertainment thing people want to see, and they think I'm stupid because I'm not doing that. No, this is a decision I've made. I don't think it's stupid. And I'm not going to address it every single video over and over and over again. This is what we're doing right now. And then as I'm hearing feedback from people, as they're getting successful, and everybody seems to be getting that 90% accuracy, then we'll think about leveling everybody up, in share size. And maybe there's also different things we can do strategy-wise. So, that would happen too. Let me do something here too. Got to get this over here. I'm managing my screens a little bit here, guys. So we're not going to be. It's not going to be like I'm not doing stuff. Like this is professional production. It's all ready to go for you. It's going to be a little messy from time to time. Anyway, so the point was, what else am I going to mark here? And I'm not going to mark that. There is a level here. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good. How does that translate as we go across multiple days? There could be a level here. I just don't know if I would trust that much. I think I'd wait for intraday to see if I need to mark something here as it starts to consolidate. These are the bigger areas that, big abrupt turnarounds marked from previous days, and things that we're going to want to just make note of, and then maybe they will be respected and maybe not. So everything on this is ready to rock and roll. Let's look at our news here. Yeah, they raised their price to 185. So this looks like the overall news with the bill passing with the tax cuts to the rich is probably really good, and the less regulations at the banks. I mean, these are things that are going to help us traders. I don't know if I'd say it's going to help the country, but we're not going to get into politics. But we're traders, and so we're going to look at the world through that little microscope. And I always do this, and then I switch stocks as soon as I do this, so it's like pointless. But so yeah, I think I'm liking this one to trade at the open. I honestly am liking this one. So again, we were here, so we'll head over to Tesla then next. And again, it would have to be something really unique to have me want to trade this stock at the open because of the fear factor of this stock. And I hesitate to mark out anything historically on this stock too, because like I've said many, many times again, it's just like you can't trust anything with this stock. So I mainly just mark intraday historical data. I mean, that's, this is an interesting level. See how it tapped over there? I don't know how far back that goes on that level. If it's hit other areas, looks like it might be back here too. So that might be a spot. We got up to 322. I think it's going to go up, although I know Trump and he are having a feud, but I don't know. You can't trust Musk. You can't trust what Trump's going to say. I mean, you can't trust them as far as what they're going to do to the market. Don't shoot me terrible emails if you think I just said negative things about either. I'm just saying, trust-wise in the market, you have to worry about trading Trump because of the overall market he can affect, and then Musk with his stock, he just says stupid stuff. You guys know what I mean. Please tell me you know what I mean. All right, let's go back to Hood and see what we got here. Go on the 5-minute. Yeah. And this could be a good one today. A lot of news out about Hood, and they were talking with CNBC. I have the advantage of having a lot of people here, so I keep getting these tidbits from a lot of people. So I'll share with you what I hear. Maybe you've heard it too, but they're selling a derivative of OpenAI based on. I'll try to get this right. Based on, it's not a publicly traded stock. But then people who own part of the company, and I'm assuming that's Robinhood, and now selling in Europe a token coin that you can invest in, sort of like almost you got to look at it like it's an option because you don't ever own it. But the value of the overall company can still be reported or found out, and then that token would go up and down based on that. So you can buy that stock, and Robinhood is under some pressure for offering that, but they are offering it, and it's very successful. So it's like this could pop today because of that news story, and you just never know what's going to emotionally charge something. So again, that's why intraday is so good to look at the levels. I wouldn't mark this level. I was looking at something more historically. Although those are both pre-market, so that's anything after a pre-market is not as strong. But that did tap here, and then a couple times rejected here, and then this one's pretty strong. I would consider it to be strong. You don't know, but. So again, I would mark this intraday as we open. Is this fib worthy? Yeah, it probably is fib worthy. Let's see. Yeah, there's a fib. Let's do that. And when I say that, it's like there's no point in marking it if it's not going to be anywhere near the fib levels. Oops. Come on. There we go. When you're trading, so why go through the trouble of marking it? If there's a huge movement toward the fib, then you got to wonder, like, are we now trading a catalyst situation that we don't want to do? So hopefully you guys are following that. So yeah, I mean, that level right there could be well respected if we dip down to it. So that's something to keep an eye on there. So that was Hood. The next one down here is Palantir. Let's get a look at this one. Now there's a huge drop in 1 minute volume as we get into these. It's still well over 100,000. That's how the scanner's set. So let's just take a look on a 5 minute. And we are scalpers, guys. So we are looking at 5 minute as a long time distance to mark stuff out. This looks actually kind of interesting because it's kind of dropped to a consolidation. So I'm kind of these kind of movements in the actual chart excite me for a possible consolidation as we move on, intraday consolidating. So let's take a look here. We're right there, huh? Interesting. The fib kind of took care of some of the levels that we would watch. You can see that they picked it up. I'm not sure I would mark anything else out except for intraday on this. Now, why I might not trade this is when I see the action, when I come over to it, when I see it here, like what is it moving? And remember, I don't think I pay enough attention to pointing this out to you guys. I want to see these moving up and down fairly closely and in bigger than 10 cent. We want like 10 cent moves at least, 10 to 20 cents up in here. That's taking the last 9 candles, not pre-market, obviously. It's taking the last 9 candles when you're in intraday trading, and it's showing you what to expect. So if I go in with 200 shares, right, and it moves up 10 cents, that's a $20 trade. Moves up 5 cents, I've made $10. I'm chipping away little. At this point, we're only going for $100, so it's a different way than I might trade as we upscale, and I'm only going in a quarter of my position. Remember, so that's pretty safe. Anyway, I'm trying to talk about with market flow here on the level 2. You'll see it swailing up and down. This is a hard thing. It'll be a constant thing that we, I try to pass on to you and teach that I literally can see which way it's going to go 90+% of the time. And I will try to call it out for you based on my experience reading price flow, the orders coming through the order flow. And it's not always, but you start to develop a skill. You've seen me do it for years if you've watched me. Not only do I use the historical data and the indicators, but I will call out those trades. I will call out the future. You can see it and how accurate it is. And a lot of it is based on, I tell you, level 2 is kind of worthless when you're trading the RV strategy, if you're looking for there to be a share size that blocks the movement and then a breakout. And I did create that level 2 indicator for that, which I recommend you guys getting. For what we're doing right now, that's just going to make a bit of a noise here that we don't need. So, but anyway, I lost my train of thought. Live, unedited. The real professor. He's forgetful. He's an absent-minded professor. I was making a point about how you start to get you've probably seen me literally predict the movement. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it is a skill that each and every one of you can learn if you spend the time. That's why I say spend a lot of time in the sim. Spend a lot of time back testing. Record your own trades. If you're doing it live here, then you've got it recorded. You've got me recorded, but you might want to be recording what you're doing too. So I think that I'm just going to stay with Nvidia here.
SBET, Sharp Link, hitting a new high, 1435. Sandy Bravo Echo Tango.
Alan's downstairs right now, setting up with somebody to trade, but I think he's going to be coming back up. And let's get this set up for Nvidia for our first at least 5 minutes, maybe to our goal. I come every morning. I absolutely totally expect to make the goal. Is that craziness? Maybe. But when you do it 90% of the time, you expect it. So the danger of that, of course, is that you keep riding a bad move because you're so, well, this is going to work for me, and then you just get deeper and deeper in trouble. That's why you need to have a max loss, you guys. So remember this. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Please seek the advice of someone licensed before you try to trade or emulate anything I'm doing here. Trading is very risky. Okay. Make sure that you have a day trading plan of your own. This is one I suggest for this strategy that I basically follow and use. So I recommend that you have something like this as well. And we are about 5 minutes away, so I'm going to really focus in on what I'm doing here. Let's just see. Yeah, yesterday I was having trouble with this, the way these things were set up. It was too tight as I was showing those that new buyer indicator. Nothing new here. Trending. We only have the market till 1 o'clock today, so I'm not doing any power hour. I am doing the later RV strategy that we've been starting right around 10:30. It's been working okay, even though we've missed that 10 o'clock a pop on the New York Stock Exchange in the East Coast of the United States. That it's at 10 a.m. There's usually a pop. I have been noticing that there is really a difference in the way the market's been reacting lately. Than like last year. There always is. So you have to make little adjustments when you do stuff. Make sure your share size is something you don't feel nervous about, guys. That is like one of the biggest keys. I did a Nerves of Steel video you might want to look up that goes into detail about all the things to watch out for. But mostly the message came down to if the share size makes your handshake makes you nervous, it's too high. And it's okay to go down to one share because you're a work in progress, right? You're a work in progress. So, okay, we've got 2.5 minutes, and what I will be looking for is either I'll go short back off the 158, this level, or 159, or if it keeps popping fast, I would go off the ATR up here, which is nearer to the fib and so on and so forth. And that's the high.
Meta getting another pop here, a big pop to the high 70.
Yeah, Meta's been poaching all the OpenAI people, offering as much as $300 million contracts to get some of these people. Lucky them, huh? Jeez. People were saying like, well, after they know they're getting $300 million, how they're even going to work very hard? So it's a typical thing, right? You're taking away incentive because you've given them the incentive ahead of time. All right. Somebody told me I should turn on the bell. I forgot about that. Just one more noise for you guys, right? That if I have the low alerts on here, so it's not too bad for alerting you guys here.
1 minute to the U.S. market open. Equity markets, U.S. equity markets.
It's going to be a weird day today, so we have to watch just generally because of the short day and the holiday here in the U.S. Okay, get ready for the fast move if you are doing this, which I don't highly recommend, but I will be looking for a retrace. I will not ride it up. A lot of people will do that. I will not be one of those people. almost off here, guys. 30 seconds. Hey, please help me out and share and tell people that we're going live. You will be getting your email with a special indicator that nobody else can get unless you've emailed me over the weekend at some point. But I'd really love there to be more people because it's going to help us be more successful. The more crowd that trades with us, the better our trades will be. So get that word out that they can come over here for free and try something they maybe never seen before. You know, I get asked to quarterback
US
because
markets
it works, you know. So it's going down first. But you can't really, these are pre-orders that you have to watch out for. So I'm watching here on the ask and the market maker. I'm seeing it. It's actually a little laggy, which bothers me. So it's about to hit the 76. Almost did. I'm going to go ahead and go in early. Oh my God, I did it again. I'm on my IRA. Crap. Well, in a way, I'm kind of glad that I missed that. You cannot go short on an IRA. So
after the open, Dow is up 85.58. Nasdaq is up 100.
I kind of want to average into a larger position, but if it gives me enough money down here, yeah, I'm just going to take that. So it skipped on the market there, but that was $21 first trade. Now I might want to ride it long here as it goes up here again. So we're taking a close look here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go in there again and try to get a few more bucks. There they are. So now we're up to 44 right off the bat. It's looking very strong long. I'm going to take a breath here. Our goal is just $100. Hopefully you made some of those trades. This little trick right now with Nvidia to go short right after it goes up seems to be a pretty surefire way to get some money, but you can't. You got to be careful because right after the next candle, everything changes, and that's why I say I recommend that we look to see safety-wise, what is our consolidation going to be? We're almost halfway there now, which is good. See that drop? If you got caught in that on the long, you'd be like, what am I doing? So this is very tempting. On the 158 even, you'll see me go in long, even though it's not 5 minutes. But it didn't hit down there, so. Because I don't think there's going to be a big drop today, you know, so we can ride some of this. And I held off. Most of the big traders in here are either doing momentum or waiting for me to quarterback the RV later on.
And Tether to power Bitcoin mining with renewable energy in Brazil. That is Alpha Golf Romeo Oscar.
Interesting here. So again, when I say it's interesting, I'm not seeing some great epiphany happen here. I am actually expecting this to be starting to climb up here again and hit that 160. When it's going to start stair-stepping, I don't know exactly when that is, but I do think it will happen. Just like yesterday, somebody said like, well, if a trader just does what you say and just takes one trade, they don't need to do all this. Well, they're right. I don't know I'm right, but yesterday I said it's going to close higher. The day before I said it was going to, I told you which way I thought the stock was going to go, and it went that way. So you could have just gone in with 200 shares and made, a crap load of money. But am I going to be right? No, I'm not going to be right all the time. It's just what I think. You might be a winner, right? Might. That's the great thing about scalping is and intraday trading is you can just adjust yourself with the moves. Take baby steps, get in, get out quick, $10, $15, even $7, $8. If it doesn't look like the price flows in your right direction, most of you just would trade with your quarter position only, and never, do those reindeer games of adding. I'm looking for the 158 to get in. I'm actually by the bid if it drops down there. Watching the flow, showing it going back up. Yeah, so it's not going to go all the way down there. Should have probably picked it there. Darn it. That's twice now. Okay, it's giving me another opportunity. It was 11. I'm going to go, I got it. That was the wrong place to get in. But whatever. Yeah, that was a little off of what I wanted. Ow, jeez. I don't know what that was. $3. I can't remember what I had. Maybe that was $6, but it was higher. And then when I clicked the ask to get out, it jumped down. It's just a matter of timing, reflexes. It was a successful trade, so I should be happy, right? But it was at least another $5 or so more than that. So buy sell oscillator turned it around. MACD sent it down. We haven't hit the 5 minute yet, so I took a trade before I would, just because I was looking at that even dollar as being a strong support, possibly. There we go. So that is happening like it's supposed to be happening. If it showed you on the 1 minute just before you cross the 5, it should keep going down. And that is exactly what it is. So you see the multi-chart alignment, everybody is going down, right? Of course, you can't, anything more than 5 minutes, don't even look at, because this is pre-market. So it looks like it might have had a bottom on a doji, almost a rickshaw man right here. Rickshaw men are a little bit stronger on average. That would have been a great place to turn around. I'm not confident with it yet. I'm sure some of you jumped on that. I'm going to wait. I'm waiting. I think it's going to go up, but I'm still trading on a retracement, which is what it looks like it's about to do right up here. So this is it's at the 50 cents. Remember, these lines are every whole dollar and half dollar, and a lot of people use those levels. So we're going back up to the 76 level up there. That is historical data that seemed to be well respected, as you can see. So that would be an area I would look to turn around, not on the 50 cent. Price flow is not showing it going up, it's showing it going down. So we're not going to get up there yet until this sort of swales the other direction. This is all lower lows here all the time. So small amounts, but I can see them clearly when I watch this. And indeed, it turned around. Now it's got a battle going on. You can look at the scalping indicator to kind of show you what's going on too, and the sellers are winning. That's an easier way than here, obviously, if you're not into it. This is just a faster, a bit more accurate way. Okay, so it's starting this little stair step here on the 1 minute. Boy, it's really respecting the 50 cent mark, huh? Just keeps hovering around here. We just need 3 or 4 more trades and we'll be there, but let's make sure they're good trades. We got time. We got time. Thinks we got a pretty good crowd here joining us. Really like to get more people, so please try to get the word out. Share that this is happening so more and more people can... Oh, that's why I closed that, because the way I have this set up here. Huh. Okay. Still, I just changed this layout this morning so that I had a bigger chart here. When I add the buyer indicator, I'll be adding over here. Yeah, this is just to the point where it's very difficult to call because it's consolidating so tightly around this 50 cent level. I'm looking for a bit of a breakout here, one way or the other, to either go long on a drop or short off this level. That's what I'm watching. We just need to be patient. Now, you can be very successful right in here, guys. You know, you need to develop your own way of trading. I am opting for the most conservative way to show you on a 1 minute chart, on a consolidating stock, to trade. So it's really respecting the VWAP. Can you see that? The VWAP's right at the 131 level, and if you can see here, it keeps hovering right around that. A lot of people use that as a support or a resistance. I keep track of that. Because of that, I don't think it holds as much sway with me, other than trading with the crowd, you know. But I don't see a good for sure trade, so I don't want to send you guys down a rabbit hole the wrong way here. I just watched The Matrix the other day. Yesterday, maybe it was, for the first time. That was a 1999 movie. That is so dated. Let's follow the white rabbit. But, you know, the phones and everything, it was so slick and cool when it first came out. Now it's this really dated looking movie. Still good, you know. So, yeah, tempting to get in right here, but it's not ideal. Buy sell oscillator is turning it around. So as it drops down toward 158, I will grab it. I'm looking for it to get, just will not seem to get down because everybody else is grabbing it, and then it turns around before we get a good price down there. Did it again. And the more that it does that, the more that it might keep going. So you got to, you know, yeah, that was it. I think the best I could have got there was 16 cents. All right, there we go. Now you have the RSI turning it around too on the risk oscillator, telling you that it's done, oversold. Interesting. It hit the 16-cent mark. There's a 14. There's a 10. There's a 6. I got in there finally. Let's see if it holds strong there at the 58 or breaks it. It's a way to add to the position if it breaks it. If it doesn't, then we'll just get out. There we go. So it was just it was a $10 or $12. I can't remember what I had, but it was a good little trade off that level. So I waited for it, and it paid off. And I'm going to probably go in again. I'll go in again. And now it's going to hurt me. So let's wait for it to come back. Don't panic. If you got it, don't panic. It's coming back. Look at the swaling here. So it's not done. It's not done yet going down, but it's you can see that it was giving signs of hope here. So we're only a quarter into our position. I would probably not add until it gets down here. So let's see what happens. This is the fun part of trading, right? You get a little risky, gets a little fun, blood gets going. Please only trade with money you can afford to lose and have a maximum loss per trade. You can clearly see it's swaling upward here, so just take a breath. It's going to come back.
President Trump on Truth Social said we'll be speaking to President Putin of Russia at 10 a.m.
All right, don't make me a liar now. Here we go. Come on back up. So I've got it at 96. Here's where it is now. I don't know what your share size is. We're just holding out for the trade. There was a $7 victory if I wanted, but this is a swale up, so we want to ride the swale to a little bit bigger. Here we go. Is it hitting? It's hitting off the whole dollar and turning it back around. So people are finding that as an area to go short, and that's why we're struggling to get past it for a minute. I might take a lesser victory here if it gives me that opportunity again real soon, and then think about getting back in it long after I've protected myself. So it is an interesting read right there. Oh, here comes a bang. Get ready. Here comes a big burst. We'll take that. Oh, I think I got it too low. I saw it hitting coming up here. I was like, it's going to go. So it broke the whole dollar for a second. So, you know, it's if you look up at the risk oscillator here, it's showing you that it's more short bias than long bias. So, and it's hitting this like a hard, we need a breakout from this whole dollar before I go back in. If you guys managed to get out, hopefully you did. We need a breakout of this before I would go long. So we're having some
coming up, the S&P
funky price action here.
3.1 expected. The composite PMI 52.8 coming up in just about 1 minute.
So guys, we're only 13 minutes in. We're doing fine. Let's see if it breaks this. This has now created a flat top here. We needed to get by the 158 before we even consider thinking about going long. There it goes. Let's see if it closes above it, and then we can buy on a dip. It's still got some time to buy. Order flow shows it going up still, clearly. That little thing was a little scary, so I'm being even more conservative because some of you might have jumped out at a loss because you hit your max loss, and I hope it didn't happen. So there's the 9, the 14, the 20, and the VWAP. Now, quarterbacking calls from experience, what long-term you think is going to happen. I think a lot of people will just listen to what I say, and other people will not. But remember, you have to do what's best for you. You cannot follow me blindly. Okay, so now it's made its move here.
52.8 on the composite PMI.
So, and the MACD is sending it up too. So let's get a look here. Let's think about this. No real patterns. Yeah, so we might want to short up here again. The 158.50 I will go short on to ride a retracement back down if it gets up there. Let's see how hard it hits. It's 45, 48. Big punch up there, and I'll ride the ask. I'll do the ask, but it's fading. Order flow is saying it's about to pop it, so let's see.
213.20 up 77 cents. AAPL.
Oh, a bunch of people just said no. Buyers are winning out. Well, there they go. This is still averaging more down than up. If you look at your risk oscillator here, so I didn't quite pick it up on that 48 cents. It happens a lot on the half and whole dollars too, that everybody jumps in at the same level and it doesn't quite make it, so they go in a few cents before to make sure they get in. So they could have profited 10 cents from that trade right off the bat.
Coming up at 10
that would have been $20, a $20 trade for me if I'd done that. The more it hits there, the more it might break through and then put me in a worse position. So got to get it ready to add to it as you're going around here. So we're just going to be patient. We're going to wait for it to get up near the 58.50. I am going to go short up there in that level. If it gets up there, there it goes, 49. It picked me up. So I got it at 49. Now, how hard will it break out? You can see the oscillator's turning it around. The risk oscillator's turning it around. Let's see if it really does turn it around. I would go in the 76. I would add to half of my full position, 76. Here we go. This is trading. This is the fun part, right? You gotta hold out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add in. Didn't pick me up. Now I've got 400 shares. Now stuff's really happening. So I'm at 63, looking for a retracement down to the 50-cent mark. For me, that's half my position is in. And if it breaks that, that's not good for me. Stay on target. Take a deep breath. Grab some coffee. Stay on target.
LAXT, LIXT Biotech.
We can do it, guys.
$3.82.
I'm going to take a short win here if we make it. That was too tight. $1.96. Too tight. And then, of course, you want to get picked up if it drops below. The order flow is sending it down right now, guys. So take a breath. Here we go. It's going down. We're going to make some money right here. Boom. Right on down. Come on. That was $8 for a split second. We can do better than that. Come on. There we go. It didn't pick me up. We had 22 for a minute there. I saw it swaling down. It still is, actually. So let's get a, I can cancel all and do market if I catch it, but question is, will I catch it? See, now it didn't. It's turning back the other way, so that's too bad. That was a good trade for a second, for a split second. So this is the longest trade I think I've had with you guys where it didn't do what we wanted it to do. And this is the first time I think I've actually averaged in to half position as well. I'm going to cancel that order. And the order flow is starting to slightly concern me. So I might get out on market on a big dip here just to make sure I'm out. But that's not good because that's a turnaround sign here that is going to go back up. So, oh boy. Hopefully I haven't steered you guys the wrong way here. Wait for a dip. Don't like the look of this. This looks like it's going to go up. There was a chance briefly. We'll take that. All right. So I did make some money. Okay. So I hope you guys get out of that if you can. I don't like the way the price action's going. But let's see. Now, make sure you readjust your share size if you did go half in. See, it's going to break this flat top. So I hope you guys are out of your short. Let's see.
RGC RegenCell shares were halted down on a circuit breaker.
Another opportunity to get out. So I called it wrong. Look at that. I was wrong. You could make more money. Look at it go. Nice. So you made, if you stayed in there, you made big money. So that's good. Now we're going to look for a buy opportunity to go back up here. So I would say that from the 8 days or whatever I've been calling this for you guys, that trade right there was probably the least confident I have been. So watching it. Again, they don't know who I am. But you don't want to be trading with the amounts of money that can't allow you to hold through this. You know, you just don't want to do it. You want to keep it nice and low. So watch it break to 76 now with a big bang. Here it comes. See, it's hitting us like this. This level is obviously seriously being respected here. Let's get a look at this. Where was that? That's up here. Yeah. So look at that. It's that spike from a few days ago, and then it tapped it again here. Kind of smooth through here. But yeah, that's a. You never know which one's going to really pick up strong for you. It just keeps tapping it. We kind of like to see it break through more than break down at this point. See how the buyers are winning out? So you keep an eye on this target because it's kind of telling you more of the bias of its direction based on the last 9 candles. That's what we've got. So this historical data, last 9 candles, that's pretty helpful. This is the risk oscillator. It's a very good indicator to have. I've still got about 15 minutes to trade if need be to make our goal. So we can just stand firm and wait for a better setup. Or actually, I could think about switching stocks here. I usually like to wait till we get to it at this point. This is pretty lame here. Let's see if do we have a level here at all? Yeah, it seems it was kept stopping around the 30 cents mark. But man, I don't know. I don't know about marking this level. I don't think so. I don't think I want to do it. It's not enough of a historical to go by. We'll keep to the half and whole dollars and think about those. I would go in down here long, guys. If you're having any kind of a delay because of YouTube, I would look at the 158 to go long on right there. And I'm not sure about shorting here. If it tries to break through again, I'm not sure. I would want to look at the flow as it comes up. MACD says go down. These are like neck and neck. We have no real pattern on either the 5-minute, 15-minute, or 1 minute. General market says it's going up everywhere. Multi-chart alignment, everything's long-term up, although we haven't been in the market very long here. When the 5-minute's saying down. This is so tight. It's very, very hard to call. Some ways that's safe because you know it's just going to keep coming back. You don't know, but I mean, there's an idea that it's going to keep. This is the great thing about large cap stocks is that, you know, for the most part, they go back and forth. Now, since I added to my share position as it broke through up here, and I didn't wait high enough, when I did that, I was more like adding to get out, watching the price action to get, not to make more profit, but just get it up into the 60-cent range and get out. Because I saw it hitting that range a lot, and I just thought, you know what, I don't like it. I'm going to get out because this looks like it wants to make a big breakout here. That's why I am more inclined not to jump in short on this level and wait till it hits maybe up here after it breaks out. So, but we needed to do something. We needed to make a move here. So everything's green, 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 green. Everything says go up, higher on the target. This is a good chance to break it. Let's see if the volume picks up here. It looks like it's gonna. There it goes. See, the volume is higher now on the buyers. Buyers want to do a breakout. Some people would say go in because of that. I'm going to wait. Everything points to a breakout here. Let's see if it really does it. Man, order flows say no. I saw it come in. It just is just totally respecting that level, making it hard to call it. It should break it. That's why I'm not going short. So you just got to be patient, guys, and wait for the better trade. Maybe some of you are making good money in this big mess. I haven't looked at anything else now because I'm so dialed into this, waiting for a move that I feel when it comes, we can just break over the 100 right off the bat on maybe one more trade. Just waiting for it to come here. So yeah, you can see it clearly on the 5-minute here. Call it the 158.75 level, or $0.75. Man, come on. It's fading again. Here we go. Here we go. Is volume going to? No, volume's nowhere near passing the, not yet anyway, passing the previous. It's too early in the candle life. I'd like to see that pop, and this time it might really break it. You could trade it long. There it goes. There it goes. Is it going to break it? It broke it for a second. And then the oscillator said no. These are all custom indicators that really help, guys. They point the direction very, very accurately, 80% or so accurately. So, and the MACD is pretty darn accurate too. So it, you know, indicators, historical data, price flow, that's all you really got. There we go. Finally, we get a break here. So anywhere near that 159, I will, if it decides to keep going, I will wait for the 159. You're not going to drop below that level again, are you? Come on. There's a lot of people that saw that. We all want to jump on that. Everybody's going long right now. Come on, baby. So I can go short. Go long. So I can push it up to another rejection level, maybe, resistance level. Dropped below it again. Okay, I would consider going long here now on this level here, 158.50, if it hits here. So let's see if it gets down here.
Factory orders plus 8.1% expected. ISM manufacturing PMI 50.8 expected.
Okay, well, that's probably going to send this stock up. So let's see. makes me hesitate to short it up there, but I am going to stay on target, stay on plan, and at the 159 short. I'm actually going to make sure I get in. I'll sell the bid up there. If it gets up there, it just keeps respecting that level. Starting to feel impatient, which is dangerous. Come on, baby. There you go.
8.2% on factory orders versus 8.1%. Non-manufacturing PMI 50.8.
Okay, I'm hanging on. Based on that news, that scares me a little.
15.5.
Of course, market never reacts as fast as you hear the news. So you remember that. We are on the cutting edge. All right, I'm going to go ahead and maybe that's impatient, but I'm going in a little bit lower than that to get a smaller profit here as it swales down. Knowing I'm only a quarter of my position. $0.91 I'm in. We're looking for a little bit of a retracement to give me a little bit of money, but now it's closing higher highs, which is scary on the swales here. It's going to finally break what I was waiting to get in at. Could be another average down, average into my half position again if it keeps doing what it's doing. I'll take a lesser profit here if it gives me an option to do so, because it's basically it was closing higher highs each time there on the swale, so I was getting worried about that. I tried to get out there. It did not pick me up. I'm holding it there for a minute. Man, I wish it would have picked me up there. There we go. That was a big dip out of nowhere. It hit a new high, and everybody went panic. Often happens, when it does this for so long. It's a new high, and then you get a little retracement real quick. So, that was a good trade. But, geez, it's like sweating bullets trying to make a few bucks on this stock right now. Well, I look to the ATR now as a resistance level, which is at 159.28. The more that it does this, the more I get afraid of shorting it. Everything says up right now, everywhere you look. And what am I doing? I'm an outlier. Still trying to catch those retracements. Yeah, I would definitely buy at that level. We couldn't get by if it got down there. Just so you guys know, if there's any kind of a lag. I don't think I want to buy at the even dollar, not yet. I would want more retesting of that going up off that level. I'm looking for more of a perfect entry, guys. That's what I'm doing. So there's lots of bits of money to be made in here, depending on how you trade, what your risk tolerance is. So we're keeping it slow and steady to get you to that $100 a day. And I think some people made their money if you dropped off. Yeah, the more it tests this, the more I'm inclined to go long off it. Some might say I'm being too conservative. I do not think so. There it goes down a little bit. All right, I'll try to get in that. So I got in that as it was going down with an intention of adding to more of my position if it
S&P futures
it
now
gives
at
me an option.
42.50.
Tried to get out there. I was up close to our goal there for a split second. There it goes, 101. So we did it on one trade. It just all of a sudden happened.
Coming up at 10:30 now.
So hopefully you were able to capture that. Whew. God, it felt like that was much more difficult than the last few days. But we did it. If you followed along with me, made our 100. Now let's finally get a look at something else. Let's see what Hood's doing. Now, if you've made your goal, remember, stop. Yeah, Hood went down, huh? Look at that. Yep. It's a 5 minute we're looking at. Let's see what the consolidation looks like on a 1 minute. Yeah, it's a bit risky to go long with right now. You could go short off the $95 mark. That would be a good spot to go back short again. I don't know. I don't know why Hood's going down. Yeah, there's that whole thing about the tokens I was talking about earlier. They're not equity in the company, which is, a lot of people, I guess, they were saying that was, people didn't understand that. Most of the traders oh God, I'm going to generalize here. My opinion is that a lot of the traders that trade on Robinhood and trade in their phone and all that stuff, they could care less whether it's equity in the company. They just want to make money when it goes up. It's they don't care anymore. It's kind of like the old guard warning you. So again, just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah, I'm not loving this. Let's take a look at Tesla. Wow. So things are generally going down. Nvidia was the only one that really was going up there, huh? If I were to call that, let me take a look at the 1 minute. Oh yeah, okay. I don't have much time left. Well, I'm glad we made the $100 before I bug out here. Wow, this is actually pretty good. The way this is consolidating. So what I would do if you want to continue to trade this through the day, my opinion is we get some support and resistance levels here based on recent historical data. That's 316, 62, 60 range. You definitely want to check this out where it absolutely turned around with a tweezer move. And that's 314.17. Here's another one right at the $0.50, at the even dollar, but in slightly above it to give you a warning sign. And that's a pretty good channel right there. That's a $1.60 channel. And then you have a lot more at that. Yeah, you don't need to mark it. You'd want to watch that 316 level right there. You'd want to watch that level as a support or resistance level right here. So this is, yeah, I would take a long off of here for sure if it got down there, if it was me. And I would take a short off this level if it was me and go in lower share size because it's Tesla. Be careful. You can see the range is pretty extreme compared to what we were just trading. So you have to take that into account with your share size. You can see the volume went up as it was going down. I'm not looking at level 2 right now, but it looks like it was swaling down there on that move, like it was going to continue to go down a little bit. And you could get into a trade down here. There's the continuation of the down. It's turning around. So you could get into it right in here. This is one we got to be careful because the spread's a little taller, and there it did turn around. I was actually thinking about grabbing it real quick and playing that move. Trying to zone in on the level 2 a little bit. Yeah, again, it was another opportunity to get a short victory there, and now it's turning back around. So, but I mean, this is generally what I would look at, $1.5, and I would try to ride these with a quarter of my share size and move on. But guys, I'm being waved at up here, so we're going to call that a day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you were able to make your $100. And remember, try to get the word out. Have a great holiday weekend. Always stay inquisitive. Go green. We will have a recap video for this as well coming out. And I hope, once again, it did okay for you. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for you guys. It helps me out. And then look for that email. If you have subscribed, look for that email over the weekend, and it will come with a link to a special indicator just for you guys. Okay, guys? All right. Thanks again. Go green.